morning. Hello, hello, welcome, and welcome to the Mellow Morning Flow 30-minute practice. So we'll need some props for today. You can place a yoga block underneath your shoulder blades and a second one at the back of your head. If you have one of those padded bolsters at home, feel free to use those. Those are so sweet. And so we'll start off in a supported fish position, creating a little lift behind the heart. So the upper back is supported, and you can play with exactly where the block is, adjusting it to your own needs. And then the head is also supported by a second yoga block. I recommend having the blocks either at the same height or supporting the head just a little bit higher than the heart. And then you're welcome to let your knees fall out to the sides, legs relaxed. Or you could straighten the legs towards the front of the mat. And then close your eyes, drop the attention in, drop the awareness in, and feel the breath. And good morning for those of you just joining in. We'll meet in supported fish to begin practice. Please set your strap up nearby as well. And try to focus on my words more than my movements. I'm plugged into a charger right now, so my movements will be pretty awkward as I navigate that. So drop into your breath. And then on a long inhale, reach the arms towards the back of the mat, full overhead range. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, drawing them in by the ribs, squeezing shoulder blades a little bit. Again, inhale, reach the arms back, shoulder blades spread, and then lift. And then exhale, drawing the elbows in. Try to make your exhales longer than your inhales. Inhaling 4 or 5 seconds as best as you can. Try to exhale twice as long. And the beauty of a more mellow practice like this is that we're invited to challenge the breath more than we might otherwise. And you're welcome to continue exploring the movement or pause where you feel benefit. And breathe. And then placing the soles of the feet on the floor, bend your knees. We'll help ourselves off the blocks. You can support your head with your right hand and then roll over onto your left side. Slide the blocks out of the way. And then lay down, hugging the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the legs and gently rock side to side. Massaging the back against the floor. And then squeeze your right knee to your shoulder. Straighten the left leg onto the mat. Take Take a big breath in, left hand outside of the knee. Open the right arm out to the side like a wing. Exhaling, bring your legs towards the left, spinal twist. And breathe, holding the posture for a little. Try to breathe into your belly, expanding through the right side body. And sometimes that deeper breath can affect the stretch you feel in the hips. So the prana, or the breathing, the sensations of the breath, which are all coined under the term prana, it's the intelligence of the body. And as you direct the prana, you direct the sensations of the pose to make it feel just right for this moment. One more breath. Inhale back to center. Half happy baby. Bend both knees. And then right knee near the shoulder still. Open up your right knee joint about 90 degrees. Reach for the foot with both hands. And then turn your hip out, drawing the thigh bone out to the right side. Gently pull back with the arms. Option 2, exhale to lift the head and shoulders, tucking the chin, engaging the core. Three more breaths. And inhale, relax the head down. Exhale, relax the right leg. Lower the foot. Hug left knee to shoulder, give it a big squeeze. And then straighten the right leg out. Right hand outside the knee. Long inhale, opening up the left arm. Exhale, twist, legs to the right, gazing over the left shoulder. And breathe. And focus on those long, full exhales. This will naturally help improve the inhale and give you more sensitivity to feel the breath and direct it. And all the while, soften the forehead, soften the jaw, soften the roof of the mouth. And then inhale back to the center. Knee to shoulder still, bend both knees, half happy baby. Take the left foot with one or both hands and turn the hip outwards so the thigh goes out to the left a little. And as you push the foot and hands into each other gently, pull back a little. Option 2, lift the head and shoulders, engaging the core. And breathe. Tucking the chin, front of the neck is contracting, back of the neck is long. And inhale, relax the head down. Exhale, let go of the leg. Arms out like wings, feet as wide as the mat. Bend both knees. Windshield wiper the legs to the left. Back to center on the inhale. Exhale, knees to the right, keeping the feet as wide as the mat the whole time. Inhale, center. And then continue at your own pace. If you'd rather go faster than your breath, that's fine. Continue breathing slowly, though, even if you're speeding up the movement. Back to center. Find your yoga strap. Oh, there it is. And take the right leg up to the sky. Loop a strap around the ball of the foot. Now engaging the front of that leg, bring the thigh bone away from the belly a little bit, so this makes it a little easier to straighten the leg. And then flexing toes to shin, pull back on the strap with your hands. If you're a bit looser, bring the leg up a little closer to the belly, but try to keep it straight. A few more breaths. If you are super flexible, you might grab the big toe with the right peace fingers and gradually work to straighten the left leg on the mat as well. On your next exhale, open the leg to the right. Inhale back to center, make a big circle. Again, exhale to the right side. And then inhale, circling across center, and continue. Big circular movements with the leg. And notice how different phases of the movement can stretch different parts of your legs. You get the outside of the hip, you get the inner thigh, you get the hamstrings. And then we'll bring that leg out to the right and hold, pulling back gently. If your leg is straight, you might take the hand closer and closer to the foot. You might also explore straightening that left leg again. And then back to center. Take the strap with the left hand. Place your left foot on the floor in front of the buttock. And then as you push off that left foot, move your pelvis over to the right edge of the mat. Spinal twist. Exhale, legs to the left, just like earlier. Opening the right arm up like a wing. Think of rolling the right thigh bone away from the belly. You can even give yourself a really nice hands-on assist. Remember those? Rolling the thigh outwards, creating more space around the hip joint. Potentially some length around the low back or a stretch around the outer hip. Use your breath. One more breath. And then releasing the posture, bend the knee. Come back to center and take the left leg up. Center the pelvis on the mat. Once the strap is around the foot, you can give it a little slack to help straighten the leg and flex toes to shin. This encourages a stretch of both the hamstrings and the left calf. So you might not look super bendy, that's fine. It's more about the feeling of it. If you're feeling a bit looser, keep reaching out through the heel, flexing toes to shin, staying strong in the quadricep as you explore the range of motion. Find what feels right. And alignment is really useful, but at a certain point, the adjustments become so internal and so subtle that only you know you're doing them. And I find the best adjustments are imperceptible to the eye. That's been my experience anyway. So now we'll start to make some circles, opening the leg to the left on the exhale. And then inhale, coming back across center. Explore. Really helpful to keep the right leg bent as you explore the full range in the left leg. And explore these different aspects of the hip joint, the outer hip and the inner thigh, the adductor muscles. And what's great about this movement is that you can actually keep your legs straight as you explore a fairly full range of motion. It's like you're covering all these different ranges that standing postures touch on. You're moving through them with awareness, with gentleness, and in a dynamic way. So now we'll take the leg over to the left and hold the posture. If you're able to keep the leg straight, you can take your left hand closer to the foot. Right leg can stay bent. If you are really flexible, again, feel free to straighten the right leg onto the mat and breathe. Holding the strap with the left hand. Be where it feels good. There's a kind of discomfort that we can choose to move into that can be really healing, and it's very mysterious. It's very hard to describe. Think of the stretch that you're looking for as being a gentle, thick, dull stretch spread across a large surface area. The thing to avoid is anything that feels electric or anything that puts a lot of pull on the actual joints where the muscles attach. So your left sitting bone, you want to ease off any stretching there, as well as the back of the knee. And then slowly come up to center. We'll take that strap with the right hand, Bend your right leg, pushing off the foot to move your pelvis over to the left. And then long exhale to twist. Open that left arm out like a wing. Legs over to the right. You can hang out there. Feel free to adjust yourself, rolling the left thigh outwards, which means away from the belly in this context. If you're a bit looser, both legs straight. Scissoring the legs. And breathe. We'll be here for a little while again. And if flexibility allows, you might choose to hold closer to the foot, still using the strap. A few more deep breaths. Noticing the expansive quality of the prana, the inhale pattern, radiating up through the belly. And the softening, descending quality of the apana pattern, the exhale pattern that flows down. And then letting go of the stretch, bend the knee. And at last, come back to center. Place your pelvis on the center. Windshield wipers side to side a few times. Notice any changes. Bridge pose vinyasa. Place the feet on the floor just in front of your sitting bones, a few inches forward of the sitting bones at least. Loop the shoulder heads back into the floor, engaging between the shoulder blades, elbows to the ground. We'll start with just the hips. Inhale, contract the buttocks and lift the hips. Legs are parallel. And then exhale, come down. So the thing to avoid is squeezing the buttocks together. Think about keeping the legs parallel and then lift the hips. And do a few more vinyasas like that. Inhale, hips up. Using your glutes, exhale down. And once more, inhale, hips up. And exhale down. Second variation. So this time we move the arms only. Inhale, lift the arms, reaching back. On your exhale, stay there and lift the hips up. Inhale, lower the arms down slow. Exhale, lower through the vertebra, nice and slow. Again, inhale, lift the arms, reach back. Exhale, lift the hips, scooping the tail forward. Inhale, lower the arms. Exhale, lowering the vertebra. Last one. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lower the arms. And exhale, lowering through the vertebra. Take a moment to feel the residue. And then draw your knees in towards your chest, cross the ankles, and you're welcome to gently roll forward and back using momentum, rolling along the length of the spine. So nice. And then we'll meet up in a seated position. So you can cross the legs, simple cross-legged, hands over the knees, one of my favorite warm-ups from Hatha Yoga. And then lean over one knee, and then the other. So big circular movements. Change directions. And then we'll meet back in the center. Take the hands about half a foot behind you. Fingers could be aiming out to the sides, or you could aim them towards your hips. And it's like a seated version of windshield wipers, so we'll keep the heart lifted, engaging between shoulder blades, knees to the left. Inhale across center. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale across center. And continue at your own pace. Don't mind me just tangling myself up in wires. Very good. And then bring the knees towards the right side. You can have your left knee pretty close to your right heel. So this is kind of like a pigeon variation, almost. Flex your toes towards your shins. And then take the right hand to the floor, just outside of your hip. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the left arm. Exhale, sitting back, reach towards the back heel. And again. Inhale, lift the hips, opening up, engaging the buttocks, just like bridge. Exhale, circling back. And a few more, moving with your breath. This is kind of like a sun salutation, the first movement. Both in terms of the shoulder joint, but also I'm actually staring directly into the sun right now. Actually, when I was in Costa Rica, I actually did some sun gazing as a meditation practice right when it rises up. Very powerful. Sounds crazy, eh? And then we'll go to the other side, hands behind you, knees to the left. Right knee meets left heel, toes flexed to shins. Planting the left hand. Inhale, lift the hips, reach back. Exhale, circle. And continue. Inhale, reach to the sun. Exhale, sitting back. A few more to go. It's nice to contemplate what a sun salutation means, or the term Surya Namaskar. It's like a greeting or a gesture of gratitude for the sun. What a great way to start the day, right? This giant ball of fire that sustains all life and doesn't really ask for much. Great, and then we'll slowly sit back. Take the hands behind you, and that will straighten the legs out to the side. So you may find that having the hands behind you and lifting the heart is enough, and then you work towards straightening. If you find you're stuck with bent knees, it can be helpful to prop up your pelvis on a yoga block or even a smaller support if you have it, whatever you have around the house. In which case you'll be bringing your hands to your thighs, lift the heart. You can pull back a bit with your hands and then try to straighten the legs. If you're a bit more flexible, go ahead and sit on the floor. And now, hands over heart center, engage your core, try to keep the heart lifted. We'll turn the hips outwards, so instead of inward spin, go out a little bit. And then take that right leg for a walk. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Left leg. 1, 2, 3. And continue. And notice how this is active flexibility, active range of motion, also known as mobility. And that's going to affect how far we actually go in our other yoga postures. It's the muscle to support the pose and to be able to initiate the movement that takes us in there. Really good strengthening for the hip flexors, psoas, the connection between the leg and the torso. One more each side. And then the fun part. All right, last one. So for those of you on blocks, you can attempt to straighten your legs, and then maybe you start to walk the hands forward a little bit. Try to keep your back straight. If you have to round your back, that's okay. If you're on the floor, spread the arms like wings, taking a breath in. And then just imagine trying to lift both legs. Nothing will really change, but there's an engagement through the fronts of the hips, fronts of thighs. Exhale, hinge in this variation. Inhale, come up. So we're trying to keep a bit of a back bend or a straight spine, hinging and rising. A few more to go. Hinging. If you're kind of stiff and you're sitting on the blocks, you're not missing out on much. Just enjoy where you are. Stiff is nice in yoga. There's like so much to experience. I was stiff for like my first 10 years of yoga. It was amazing. Kind of miss those days. So we'll hinge forward. You can then take your hands to either to your feet. If that's hard to reach, try the floor. And then inhale, pull back with the hands a little, lifting the heart. Exhale, keep on going. Pause at a sweet spot. We'll be here for a little while. If you're really flexible, you can bring the chin to the floor. Otherwise, forehead to the floor can be quite nice, or even using a yoga block underneath your forehead. And breathe. Enjoy. Connect in with the prana again, drawing the energy of the breath up the spine with each inhale. And then invite the exhale to get a little bit longer with each breath. Not as a competition with yourself, but more as an exercise in mindfulness. And then inhale, slowly come on up. Exhale, take your right foot to the inner left thigh. Take a yoga strap around that left foot. If you find that your right knee is above the floor quite a bit, try putting a block underneath the thigh bone. And then looping up that left ball of the foot, engage the front of the thigh as if you're going to lift the leg, but keep the foot on the floor. That's a cool trick. Inhale, pull back, lifting the heart. Maybe you stay here attempting to straighten the leg if you're a bit tight, and then hinge forward, trying to keep your back straight. You can play with where your hands are. If you're a bit looser, go ahead and catch the top of the foot or catch the right wrist around the foot. Again, inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, bowing over your leg, gaze down the nose. Drop into your breath. You can use all the same techniques that we did with the other strap work, like flexing toes to shin, pulling back a little bit on that strap. Inhale, roll out through the spine, lift your chin. Exhale, tuck the chin, lengthen the exhale. Right hand behind you, remove the block. Inhale, reach back through the left arm. And breathe, stretching left side body. Draw the front ribs in with core strength. And think of the tailbone scooping in, lengthening the low back. Breathing into any tight areas in the spine. On your exhale, sit back, and we'll switch legs. Right leg out, left leg folds in. Block under the knee if you need it. Strap around the foot if you need it. Lift your right leg with a straight spine to awaken the main connections, the psoas connecting thigh bone to the back of the spine. Inhale, lift the heart, tall through the crown. Exhale, hinge with a straight spine if you're kind of tight, and then try to straighten your leg. Go nice and easy. If you're really loose, go ahead and grab that left wrist or catch your foot if you can. And with an exhale, bow in, gazing down the nose. Inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, lower the chin. Totally empty. Left hand behind you. Inhale, reaching back through that right arm, lengthening side body. Long line from the arm through the leg. And breathe. And exhale, slowly sitting back. Good. So we'll bring the blocks out in front now. Heart opening pose, Anahatasana. Great opener for the shoulders. So this could be done technically with the hands together. You try to bring the upper arm bone just above the elbow to the floor. Let the heart melt. The more the elbows go forward, the more you can drop in. really nice with yoga blocks. Build an A-frame so the outer tips of the blocks are close, and then upper arm bones touch the block, hands together, let the heart melt, and breathe. If for any reason you wanted to do a little weight bearing on your forearms, whether it's like a forearm frog or dolphin or headstand or something, feel free to do that. And whenever you're finished, you can join us. One of the best things about these more relaxed or supported postures, even though they're still active, it's gentle. And with that gentleness, it's less effort in the body, so you can focus more on the subtlety of it, the subtlety of the breath. And feeling the breath as it moves up the spine. Maybe you can start to feel it moving between the shoulder blades. For me personally, I get this really beautiful massage around the right shoulder blade every time I take a breath in. It's been that way for as long as I can remember, since I was a kid. And all it takes is time, patience, and breath. Very good. And engaging the core, start to lift your head, straighten the arms. And then one arm at a time, come off the blocks. That's the hardest part. Hardest part is saying goodbye to that pose. And we'll make our way into a supported bridge variation. So feel free to take a look at how I do it here. I'm going to place a yoga block underneath my sacrum on its lowest height or its medium height. Roll the shoulders into the floor, and then take a breath in to lift one leg, and then lower it and lift the other. So inhale, lift, try to straighten, exhale, lower. Then repeat that a few times. And then bend the right leg next time it comes up. Try to bring your right knee towards your shoulders. You can hold the knee with one or both hands, and then see how much you can straighten the left leg, pressing the left heel into the mat. So you might feel a really nice stretch in the front of that left hip. Maybe you can feel a bit of a massage around the upper traps on the right side, the upper trapezius, that space between the shoulder and the neck as it rolls down into the ground. This could be a really nice psoas release for the front of the left hip as well. And then switching sides. Left knee to shoulder. Take hold of the knee with one or both hands. Right leg straight on the mat. And breathe, squeezing the knee in. Squeezing it towards the shoulder. And try to slide your shoulders away from your ears so you can really lean into that upper trapezius on the left side. And if you can't feel that, that's probably a good thing. The bigger it gets, the easier it is to feel. The more it needs to be released. I used to have a really great client who had super tight shoulders, and I would just drop my thumbs into his upper traps for a few minutes before class. And like right away, his arm would be able to move and through a way bigger range of motion. Big, strong guy. A few more breaths. And then letting go, place the feet on the floor. Feet hip width, knees bent, just like bridge. Spiraling the legs in. Inhale to lift your hips. Take a few breaths. Remove the yoga block. And then on a long exhale, roll down through the vertebra. Hug your knees to your shoulders. Draw the knees wide apart, stretching inner legs. If you prefer to bring the knees together, you can roll the legs back, head in. And then sweet release, Shavasana. Arms at sides, soften the shoulders down the back once more. Stretch the feet to the corners of the mat and completely let go of the body, releasing all tension. And let your awareness go fully into the now, the present moment. That's all of our official time on the clock today, so I encourage you to stay for as long of a rest as you're able to. Thank you so much. I hope this practice served you really well. I hope you feel more present and more grounded through the rest of the day. Thanks, everybody.